Hello, so knowing exactly what aspects of game development are important to focus on, especially as a solo developer, will help you to improve your workflow, finish projects, and create games that people truly love to play. Game development can be a long and complex process, so knowing these aspects will be an absolute game changer. I've been developing in Godot for 6 years now and I've learned so much, so I thought sharing the things that you should be focusing on as a solo developer would be so beneficial. Subscribe to help other aspiring game developers, and well, firstly, something that I've learned over the years is that some things work and some don't. You may see something work so good for someone else, but that same system or mechanic may not work well with your game. It could be the best mechanic you have ever seen in any video game ever, but if it doesn't fit with your game, then adding it may cause more harm than good. So if you see a really great mechanic that you think would work, try it out and see how it affects the feel of your game, but if it doesn't feel right, then get rid of it and try something else. Piggybacking off of that, it is very important and so beneficial to you to try different techniques at a mechanic. For example, don't just try one style of player movement, instead try 3 and see which one really fits with the feel of your game. Once you find the type of player movement that you think fits your game, work on perfecting that type. Something that is so important to always keep in mind is the user. Who will be playing your game, what do they want, or what would make the game more convenient and easier to understand for them. Remember, you are the developer, so you know exactly how to play and what all is within the game. But the player may not know, so you must find a way to make that clear to the new player, and that is why most major games have a little tutorial walkthrough or something like that when you first launch the game. Your entire project really needs to be built for the player and making the player experience as fun as possible, because in the end, you are creating the game for the player. So simply just make sure the project is player oriented, whether that be the UI, a first time tutorial walkthrough, and for some games, global leaderboards are actually a really good player oriented feature. As a developer, you have many important tools, but one of the most important tools you have is feedback. Feedback is what creates your game in a way that others will love. It also gives you access to a whole different view of your game and allows you to see flaws and ways to improve it. But for feedback to help you, you must understand that if it is negative feedback, it is a good thing. Negative feedback isn't something to be upset or embarrassed about, but instead you should be happy that someone has been 100% honest with you. Because if nobody tells you what you are doing wrong, then how are you ever going to improve? So in simple terms, ask for feedback on everything. If it is positive, congrats, but if it is negative, then even better, because now you know how to improve your current project without adding anything new. Discord and Reddit are probably my go-to places to get feedback. Okay, so of course everyone knows the importance of art in games. By art, I'm talking about music, sound effects, sprites, animations, etc. But as a developer, it is very important to not procrastinate on any of these areas, which at least for me, I do without even realizing it. But think about the situation where you've just created an amazing game but kind of forgot about the audio when developing. So now you have a finished game with no sound, and now you have that daunting task to create those thousands of sound effects and all those music tracks. It'll probably lead you to rushing the creation of those sound effects since you're already so close to finishing the game, and you just want to get that game done. For example, I am working on my own game, but the only thing currently holding me back is the art. I've decided to take a break from my concept building to focus completely on art and sound, so that when I really get into the development stage, I have some more art to work with and I can get that sound manager script set up in the beginning and save me so much time down the road. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just to really focus on art and sound as it is needed. If you create a nice mechanic and you think to yourself, well, this sort of sound effect would sound amazing right here, go and create that sound then and there and implement it into your project so that you have time to tweak it in the future if you'd like. And it will also save you tons of time in the future. Trust me. Everyone hears about how important organization is, but how do you actually organize a project and why is it so important? Well, I actually created a whole video on this a while back, so I'll link that in the description below, but simply create a Trello board and create cards for each task, just like this board here. Doing this will allow you to know exactly what needs to be worked on when you sit down to develop. It will also allow you to take notes and keep them organized with that specific task, and also it allows you to break down that major task into much smaller tasks to help you get it done. Organization is very important for workflow, so honestly one of the best pieces of advice you can receive is to make a good organization system from the beginning that works for you. I hope this video was able to point you in the right direction. I know that game dev can be a complex process, but really just like anything else, you must put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. It will consist of up and downs, but ask for feedback and keep going and you will create something that you are proud of. If you need anything or have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'd be glad to help you out. Until next time, stay safe and have an amazing rest of your day. God bless and bye bye.